spider monkey.
No! The diamonds are here!
You greasy bastard! Where's my shoes?
Sign your pity on the running time.
Big and white and cruel and mean.
Kiss my Converse. Easy, white chocolate. I wouldn't want you to melt.
But you just have to give me twice as much blood!
I'm coming.
I don't want you to come.
You're gonna need a bigger...
Spider monkey. Spider monkey. Hold on tight, spider monkey.
And welcome to the Bowels of Movie Night. I am Isaac, and with me, as always, is my fearless co-host, Larry. How are your dreams this week, Larry?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I'm going to read to you the note that I sent you this morning via text. Remind me to tell you about my dream on the podcast today. It involves you, your brother, but not actually your brother, HIV, a courthouse waiting room, and Nerd's Rope. So I had a dream that for some reason your brother and I, even though I've met your brother, and this person who was with was not your brother, but I knew in my head, like, oh, that's Isaac's brother. Let's pretend he was played by Brad Pitt. He wasn't, but let's just put, I think he was like a rednecky flannel, Larry the Cable Guy looking guy.
Fair enough.
And we took you to a hospital because you had HIV, which in this sense was a rash on your arm that was shaped like a diamond from a children's book that I read when I was very young that was about a boy with cancer. And you had this HIV, and like the doctor was like, it's no problem, we'll just take him in here and we'll deal with that. And then your brother and I were waiting in what was the courthouse waiting room of the divorce court that I had to go to when I was a little kid with your brother, who was for some reason now irrationally upset at me for letting you go to the hospital even though he took you there together to get your HIV fixed. And then he stormed off and stole a bunch of stuff out of this courthouse waiting room and left. And the lady behind the window was angry at me because it was my fault. So then I spent the rest of the dream trying to steal Nerd's Rope out of spite for her being upset at me for your fake brother stealing stuff from her.
Nerd's Rope the candy?
Nerd's Rope the candy.
What in good God is going on in your subconscious?
How's your HIV, Isaac?
Raging, but that's not what we're talking about.
Show us the rash. Your fans want to see the rash.
That would be rated X. We'd have to rate the podcast X. It's on my ween.
Yeah, so that was my dream. How are you?
Jesus. I had a dream about fucking a suckling pig.
All right, well, was it alive at the time? Real question.
Yes and no. It was a dream, Larry. It was
just
obviously fully burned, but
it was
like,
in the
looking
process
back,
of bleeding out.
Well, it wasn't. No. It wasn't bleed. It was like on a spigot, and I was part of this. My dick was part of the spigot.
A spigot.
Spigot. Whatever. Shut up.
Do you mean a spit, dear? A spigot is what water comes out of in a sink.
You know what?
What?
I really could go for some ham right now.
What is it with you and ham and cum? They seem to be like this is an awful show.
The flavor of pork entices boners.
You seem to talk about ham and cum in the same thought process a lot. Okay, what's the Bowels of Movie Night?
Yeah.
What do we do?
We're a podcast about coming and sucking pig.
Fuck.
We make each other watch bad movies and talk about them in grave detail. You can find us, Bowels of Movie Night, at gmail.com is our email address. We would love to hear from you. We have the Facebook, the Twitter. We're like rebranding. We're still in the process of that. So there's some other exciting things coming down the pike. So if you've been a fan of the show for a little while, we stay tuned because it's going to be hot and wet and on your face.
Boy, funny you should say that. We'll talk about that at the end of the show.
Oh, I'm happy. So, this week, do the podcast things. Rate, subscribe, tell your friends, whatever. Okay,
hit
this week. Hit your grandmother with a wet fish.
Wet fish.
An extremely moist fish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Baste it with lemon and fart. Nope. Didn't have a joke. Thought I did. Didn't. Never mind. Continue.
Okay. So this week I'm covering Dragonheart Vengeance.
This one had been in my queue for over a year.
Yeah, you got me pretty good, this one.
I was surprised.
Weasel.
This one was a sort of a like holdover while I was really plumbing the depths, which I'm very pleased with the things that I found, but this one seemed to get you more than I thought it would, which is always how it goes. Yeah. Whenever I think I've got a real banger, you're like, I thought it was an underrated classic and deserved 5 out of 10.
I've only said that once.
Yeah, okay. Fucking and whatever. I'm just like, here's some shit he probably won't like, but might like. You're like, this is the worst trash ever made. And if I didn't have HIV, I would march into the director's office and stab him with a letter opener. I'm in a weird mood.
Yeah, Jesus. You probably need to jerk it out or have a Snickers or both.
Okay. Let's not shill for companies we're not getting paid to shill for.
I'm getting paid by Snickers. You're not?
Fuck. Cut me in on those checks. I'm so broke and so sad.
My garage is full of Snickers.
Oh, they're
I don't know
paying
what
you
to
in
do with them.
Snickers. Okay.
Yeah.
Next time, yeah, no, now take the Snickers.
Larry, I
Some
weigh
of the-
500 pounds. I don't know if you can tell.
No, it really, above the neck, you look horrible, but you look, not 500 pounds.
I've been on an all Snickers diet for 6 months.
Oh, God. I can just imagine the consistency of your poop.
It would basically be Snickers.
So what do you fucking Snickers the movie? Dragon Quest, Dragonheart.
I'm fucking a suckling pig
right.
on a
Sorry.
spigot. Actually,
That is an awful
Okay.
image.
okay.
Yes, the water would come out of the mouth. Yes,
You
Isaac.
got me. You got me.
I no one gets you like I get you, Isaac. Because I was wondering the same thing.
Oh, I still want to try it to
Yeah.
know for sure.
Well,
I'm
gonna have
curious
to-
if it would make a blowhole out of its side or something. Before it
probably.
come
I
out
mean,
the
is
mouth.
if it's a post cooked pig, you're probably gonna get some water out of the cracklings.
All right, we might need a raw pig. If anyone wants to mail the Bowels of Netflix a raw pig, Larry, give them your address.
Preferably dead. But
Oh, right. Okay, let's do the thing. Dragonheart Vengeance. It is the 5th Dragonheart movie, which I was saddened to learn.
mind-boggling.
The first Dragonheart came out in 96. Sean Connery voices the dragon. That's actually, from what I remember, maybe a little campy 90s style, but a decent, fun fantasy movie.
Yeah, it's a fun time. Like, even though it's not a good movie, but like it's a fun watch because I forget who plays the human. I never remember. It's not Kevin Costner, but it's
Meryl Streep.
What is with you and Meryl Streep?
She's a star.
Okay. See, when you need a quick celebrity name, you always go to Meryl Streep, and for some reason, I always go to Howard Taft.
Howard Taft is not a celebrity.
He was a president. It doesn't get more celebrity than that.
But he was a president 100 years ago.
And he was too big to fit in a bathtub. Or he got stuck in a
Yeah.
bathtub because he was too fat. That's literally the only thing I know about.
He also became Supreme Court Justice.
Oh,
or
wow.
the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
How about that?
The only person to make that move after becoming president. Anyway, Politics Corner. This stupid fucking movie came out in 2020, so yeah, it's a hot, recent jab in the ass. 97 minutes long. IMDb has it sitting at a 5.3. Surprise, it's the 3rd direct-to-movie Dragonheart film. There's no Rotten Tomato critic score. But the Rotten Tomato audience
Those. Why?
is 54.
When was the
don't
first
know.
one? Like 96?
96.
Yeah. Who is clamoring for a 5th Dragonheart?
When I was watching, I was wondering, who owns the rights to the franchise, and then
That's a
was
great
just,
question.
willing to turn out schlock in order to make a dime.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All right, let's get into it. So we get some voiceover hogwash about how no one used to think dragons were real, but then some dragons showed up and did some dragon shit, so dragons are real, whatever.
Hogwash, talk about a pig and a spigot. Am I right?
That wasn't planned. Man.
I didn't hear anything you said because I was crafting that joke. Should you say that again, just minus the hogwash?
We get some voiceover blank
Okay.
about how no one used to think dragons are real, but then dragons showed up and did some dragon stuff.
Okay, so we're in a different world than the first one, at least, because that one had dragons.
I guess it's called. They mention it up front as Britannia as they're scrolling across fake fantasy maps.
That's it,
but then
yeah.
it never gets name dropped again or it matters. Bullshit. Just lazy ass world building. We see a couple minutes of slice of life of a teenage boy working on a farm with his parents. There's some very stilted dialogue exposition as the teen talks to 2 yoked cows to try to convince them to continue plowing the field. Apparently, these farmers need to plant more food before the winter so they don't starve to death, i.e. farming. The cows prove stubborn, but finally start plowing again when the teen mentions that if they don't have enough crops to eat, they'll have to eat the cows.
I get it. That's pretty funny.
And they instantly and start moving.
That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
If I was 10, I'd laugh.
Good stuff. Teen boy is lounging in a grassy meadow, languidly toying his member while he fantasizes about how rich he's going to get off of NFTs.
Never change.
Like all teen boys these days.
I mean, well, I tried to go into the NFT, but I tried to go into the business of making NFTs.
It's Beanie Babies.
I'm not kidding. It's too
Beanie Babies, Larry. I'm telling you.
No, not. Babies. I don't want to buy them. The people who want to buy them are fools. It's making. I was thinking of going into the business. Too expensive to keep it. You have to like pay rent on your NFTs being up on a store.
Yeah. Jesus.
Because I thought
what, are you gonna make an NFT of your cock and balls?
No, I made a bunch of pictures out of squares on Microsoft Excel, and then took shitty pictures of them with my phone camera. I'll post now that they're not going to be anywhere. I'll post one to the Twitter or something. I'll show you then.
I have like going to jail for a Ponzi scheme.
No, it's not. I just they're not good pictures. I have no artistic ability. It was going to be. It was a style thing because you know how fucking artists are. People like art and think people. It's all stupidity. It's all nonsense, made up shit.
Okay, we have very different feelings on art.
We do.
I think art is real and valid, but also the biggest source of money laundering.
Yes,
absolutely. In the universe.
We certainly agree on that.
Second only to movies.
Yeah, right. We should do an art podcast reviewing art. We can't. I would just you would beat me to death because eventually you'd get tired of hearing me say how stupid art is.
Okay, let's move on. Suddenly, teen boy stops toying his member and looks up and realizes his homestead is being burned and pillaged by raiders. He peers through a crack in the wall to see the bloodied corpse of his dead father, then watches as his mother's throat is slit. There are several fantasy thugs, and they banter about scattering to different cardinal directions before reconvening for the next raid. I don't know, just generic, unimportant bad guy goons from a fantasy thing. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Teen boy stands at a distance and watches his homestead burn with a bag over his shoulder. He then walks over to his 2 cows, who he just threatened to eat, but heck, they're all the family he has left, and they set off across a field on their epic quest.
With the cows, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Teen boy and his cows arrive in a city, a small, understaffed city, emblematic of the limited budget of this fucking movie. We see the king is arriving, and he looks like a middle-aged homeless Gandalf, about 4.5 weeks on his latest crack run.
Now, this is one of the pictures you sent me, and man, you are not wrong. You hit the nail on the head.
Like, you can tell the guy underneath the weird, gray, gnarly hair and beard is an attractive man.
Yeah, he's a handsome dude.
But yeah, it's just, like, it's not Gandalf's, like, kick-ass white beard and mane and everything. It just looks like a homeless person. Yeah, a scary homeless person.
Ian McKellen is a presence. Like, he fucking radiates presence out of every pore of his being. This guy is begging for nickels at Ye Old Corner Store in fucking Methonia or wherever the hell he lives.
Yeah, you toss him a jar of peanut butter and you're like, eat it, fuck it, whatever. Just get away from me.
Isaac, we're getting closer to me wanting to do a side episode about your obsession with wanting to fuck food.
Well,
it comes up. I don't know if you're aware how much it comes up. It's like twice an episode. I've known you for what, like 13 years now?
God, we're getting old.
It comes up a lot, man. Do you just want to add food to your sex life? Or, maybe you do, but let's...
No, I don't want to eat during sex. I don't know. I just like other soft, wet things that can be warmed appropriately. I mean, when I'm eating peanut butter, I always go crunchy, but if I'm fucking peanut butter, you gotta go creamy.
Crunchy peanut butter, of course. You're one of those.
Dude, you just like everything easy, don't you? You're one of those leftists.
I didn't expect. You got me with that one. All right, continue. We'll table your desire to put your penis into various foodstuffs to a different date.
I have not actually fucked food.
I think you should. I think that's an avenue you need to explore, man.
Okay, maybe.
Look, we all have to explore our sexuality. It's not even making fun of you. I mean, I will for the show because it's funny, but you should do it.
If I fuck Peter Pan brand peanut butter, does that make me a pedophile?
Peter Pan is like a fae of some kind, so no.
Okay, good. I don't want to be a pedophile.
Thank God.
Yeah,
thank you for clarifying. If you fuck a bottle of Donald Duck orange juice, you will be committing bestiality, but continue. If you ever drank Donald Duck orange juice, the cum would improve the flavor.
Get a clean pull of that. The cum would improve the flavor.
If the choice was between drinking out of a diseased puddle or Donald Duck orange juice, I'd really have to consider it.
Jesus.
It's the worst. It's the foulest liquid humankind's ever bottled and sold.
All right, so some of the beleaguered citizens from the city plead for kingly aid. I suddenly at this point decided that the teen actor's nose was too much of an affront, so I changed to calling him Teen Pig Nose, which again I wasn't planning with the whole fucking a suckling pig thing from the beginning.
Yeah,
but he's got a big old upturned nose and looks like a little piggy.
All right.
So Teen Pig Nose is the name. He shouts to the king that his family was killed by raiders and demands vengeance. Get it? Dragonheart, vengeance.
Oh, for some reason I can't keep the vengeance part in my head because my friend Sarah called me this morning and was asking me about what our next episode was, and I'm like, it's Dragonheart something or other. I don't know. It's just a generic title for a movie.
It really is.
Also, she said she liked my review of Spawn enough that she wants to go watch Spawn because she said it sounded amazing. So, Sarah, if you're listening to this, you're an idiot. I love you, but you're a fucking idiot. Continue.
I kind of want to see the blue clown, like, in
You
action.
don't. You'll want to see it for 5 seconds and then say, oh, he's right. It was nothing.
Fair enough.
He's just a fat, annoying idiot. Anyway, we're talking about pig-nosed boys and your love of peanut butter.
I'm so hard right now. The king is mid-pipe hit and ignores Teen Pig Nose. While one of the king's goons tells Teen Pig Nose to get lost, to which Teen Pig Nose replies, "That's impossible. I have a great sense of direction."
My heart.
I think that might be the worst line I have ever heard in a movie.
Oh, it's so bad.
And you know the person who wrote it thought they were clever.
I have played D&D with people who would make that joke and feel so proud of themselves. That's the worst joke. Oh, God. How old is this pig-nosed boy? Is he 9? It's acceptable if he's 9.
No fucking age.
Well, okay, Isaac. You fucking age or humankind?
I just said I don't want to be a pedophile.
Okay.
I don't know. In script, he's probably 16, but I'm sure the actor's 22.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, okay. In script is what I was caring about. All right. Wow.
Yeah. Late high school.
Yikes.
Legal tender.
Okay, man.
Oh, there's a special place in hell for me.
Yep.
Teen Pig Nose then fucks off and sells his cows, which one might think might be an emotional moment since they're all the family he has left and his right index finger reeks of cow pussy. But instead, a hot piece of ass saddles on by, human ass, by the way.
Jesus Christ,
Now,
Isaac.
He gets a crazy thought in his head. What if, instead of fingering cows, I made some lick on this pretty young lady? Which is, incidentally, how I met my wife.
Oh, man. You know, one day we're going to have, like, a subreddit when we're on, like, episode 300, and we're just going to tell people, don't listen to the first 100 or so episodes.
It's teen romance, you know? Just tongues everywhere.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. We overhear...
I like the way you said...
We overhear the teen sex kitten talking to a merchant.
Please tell me that's not her name. Please.
She comes up so little, I don't think she has a
Okay,
name.
all right. I don't... Just tell me you're not going to say teen sex kitten every 2 sentences, please. That's all I'm asking.
I'm probably going to say it more than I would have now since you brought it up.
Oh, God. Okay, well... It's fine.
As she's talking to a merchant, we find out that Teen Sex Kitten is some kind of potion maker, master, alchemist, whatever. She's like, oh, the beet wort is in season. I won't be able to make the medicinal dick-rising juice for Papa.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, that I can believe. It is ye old times.
The 2 teens eye-fuck each other for a hot second before going their separate ways. Teen Pig Nose then goes into a local tavern with a sack of money he made from selling his cow cousin fuck toys, and calls out that he's looking for some mercenaries to get vengeance for his family. Great Value Aragorn approaches him quietly and tries to convince the boy to hire him. He's actually the best part of the movie. He's the closest thing to amusing this ever gets.
Sure.
And his acting is occasionally the comedic timing works.
Mm-hmm.
I guess is probably the most flattering I can put it, but I'm clinging to scraps in this. So.
Okay.
But sorry, like it fucking exactly the Fellowship of the Rings or whatever, or whatever you call it, that stupid book.
Yes, Fellowship of the
Lord
Ring.
of the Flies.
Different book, although not also a very good book. Different message, kind of.
Meets like the gruff, like ranger sellsword guy in a tavern, and then he becomes his buddy and takes him to Fucktown or whatever.
Yeah, takes him to fuck. Jesus Christ.
Mordor. Sorry, I got the name mixed up.
That's Fucktown is the Elvish name of Mordor.
Yes.
Frodo, you must take the ring to Fucktown. They say it with this sort of a
Fuckton.
You got to kind of like stick your neck out real far. Fuckton. And then it's just translated to Fucktown.
Suddenly,
I hate this show.
Why? God, it's his best. It's the best show. Joe Rogan, we're coming for you.
Oh God, don't that fucking
anymore.
guy.
Oh,
that
God.
fucking guy.
His neck is thick enough to hide a corpse. Okay.
Yeah, he'll be the first one to tell you that.
Suddenly, a ragtag group of 4 other mercenaries approach and snatch Teen Pignose's sack of money and say they will that the sack of money will do for a consultation fee. Great Value Aragorn then suddenly cuts off the hand of the leader of the group of mercenaries with his sword,
Jesus.
And a fight ensues.
Seems bad for business, but okay.
The fight from the first Pirates of the Caribbean between Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom in like the warehouse thing?
Yeah.
Okay, well imagine that is a perfectly seared, medium rare filet mignon from a 4-star Michelin restaurant.
Sure.
Well, this fight is half a Slim Jim found under the seats of a Brooklyn subway car at 3 a.m. on a Sunday night.
That's a post-church Slim Jim.
Oh boy, it's pretty rough.
Somebody praised the Lord, ate that Slim Jim, and then threw it in the seat.
It's not good.
Yeah,
some of the
that's pretty bad.
Kingsguard show up, and though the Great Value Aragorn was winning the fight, he escapes, as done our Teen Pig-Nosed hero. Teen Pig-Nose sneaks into a blacksmith shop and makes friends with the blacksmith awkwardly, offering his family's land down by the river in exchange for a sword. After some banter, the reluctant blacksmith agrees, then tells our hero he should probably enlist the services of the local dragon to fight the raiders, and that the dragon will accept payment in the form of crop seed, which is just seeds.
Interesting.
To plant crops, world building.
If you say crop seed, it's like a fantasy thing instead of just a fucking seed that makes tomatoes.
Yeah, pretty much. Great world building. Teen Pignose wanders into the countryside, asking people for help finding the dragon, only to find peasants cursing him and throwing rocks at him. He climbs on all fours up a leafy hillside that's not nearly steep enough to necessitate climbing on all fours.
I'm sorry, is Great Value Aragorn with him at this point?
No.
Okay.
I
didn't catch that. Okay.
He's on his own now. He looks at an ominous hand-painted sign nailed to a tree that reads, "Danger, here be the dragon."
Oh, God. Again, another guy in the writing room who thought he was very clever.
Finally, he finds a random ice cave that is icy for no reason except the dragons and ice dragons. Whatever.
Sure.
He enters.
It's fantasy. Whatever. You know how many video games I've played where you can go inside a volcano and also into like the icy bowels of the earth? I mean, who cares? It's fantasy.
I guess. But he enters and literally calls out, "Dragon, come out."
Hello, are there any humans present? Just walk into a fucking Walmart and just start asking for humans.
I found out a human skull. You can buy it online for $2,400.
That's more than I thought it would be.
For a human skull?
Yeah.
I was surprised at how low it was.
Really? Is it like illegal to own them? I think there's some. You probably have to have a license. Or, I don't know. Why would it be?
How do you get a human skull?
I mean, I suppose I would buy one online. It just seems like a high price for something that we have in abundance and have no value for, really.
Yeah, but no one wants their graves robbed.
I don't. Well, I suppose not, but I don't know.
I mean,
I guess you're right. I guess you're right that it's not a common thing to just say, "Yeah, sell my pieces when I'm dead," like a Ferengi. But
I was wondering if that's what I can do, like, because if I could, instead of being cremated or whatever, if I can sell my skull and give my family, like, I don't know, $2,000.
Honestly, I like that. There in Star Trek, there's a race called. I don't think you're very familiar with Star Trek, right?
No.
Okay. There's a race called the Ferengi, and they're kind of Jewy, I'm going to say. They seem to be a little Watto-y. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying they're like they have, they're stereotypically, I think, sort of not very flattering. But but they're like this little greedy race obsessed with money, and they sell their body when they die, and it's like a great honor to own the piece of a successful Ferengi, among other Ferengi. So they like burn their corpses and sell the ash, which I thought was, I'm watching this like, that's very clever. Imagine if you could like buy a piece of in when he dies in fucking however many years, a piece of like Barack Obama, like a little tin of Barack Obama's ashes. Like, think about that. Like, it's a good money making thing.
I would definitely want like, whatever is tibia.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do.
I mean, cock and balls and formaldehyde would be ideal.
Can we cut out the part where I said the Jew thing? I do think that's the case, but I'm realizing it's gonna not sound as, I don't think it's gonna come across very well. Can you chop this up a little bit? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're at 25 minutes.
Yeah, I just don't think that's gonna translate very well now that I'm thinking about it, because I do think that is correct, but I don't think I explained it well enough.
All right, I have a Google Keep note.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. The dragon comes out, and the CGI looks like it might have been passable during the first half of the Clinton administration.
The dragon is on the thumbnail, or it was at least in the thumbnail for a long time of the Netflix, in the Netflix app, and yeah, it looks shitty. It looks like somebody tried to do a CGI of Falcor from Neverending Story, like 3 years after Neverending Story came out, and they just decided to keep using that model.
Yep, and this movie came out again in 2020, so there's no excuse for the CGI to be that bad.
Yeah, it looks real bad.
The dragon is voiced by Helena Bonham Carter, whose performance sounds like she's paying off some back taxes. The icy dragon basically tells Teen Pignose to fuck off, and he says, "Fine, I'll get vengeance myself." Name drop of the movie.
Oh, God.
Next morning, he wakes up at a campsite to find a brilliant white steed in a saddle lying on the ground. He mutters, "Maybe luck is starting to turn my way." "Yeah, bucko, like the icy dragon isn't your secret benefactor, you dumb pig-nosed fuck." Goddamn son of a bitch.
I'm thinking about, we'll talk about it more at the end, but I'm thinking like, I'm remembering the original Dragonheart and how specific it is, and how do they fucking make a franchise out of that? But we'll get to that at the end of your review, because I'm realizing that this is.
I don't remember anything about the original movie. I know I've seen it. But
I remember
it was like 8.
I remember like 2 scenes and the very broad strokes of the plot.
Broad strokes.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I get when I go to Vegas.
Isaac, how's your wife?
Oh. She's alive.
Mm-hmm. Thank God.
For now.
Thank God.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll die eventually.
Anything could happen.
But not today.
Yeah. Okay. Teen Pignose takes a drink from still water like a fucking clod, and then Great Value Aragorn pops out of the brush in a ghillie suit, because he was just hiding there to spook him as a prank. Which, again, like, stupid, but especially the way he plays it off. The actor's got a little bit of comedic timing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm clinging to. That's what I have to cling to.
I can see in my head how that might be funny.
Yeah. It's maybe a 3 out of 10, but spoiler alert, my score for the movie is a 2 out of 10. So I'll take whatever improvements I can get along the way.
Uh-huh.
They share a hearty laugh with each other, disregarding how fucking weird that was.
Yeah.
Then they banter. Teen Pignose agrees to hire the sellsword. They form some vague bullshit plan and have some more travel preparation banter. The humor here is slightly better than the film has offered before, however still sputtering and ineffectual like I was the first time I made love on a lady. Man, I should not write the words I write.
Now, if I remember correctly, that part's true.
The sputtering, ineffectual lovemaking?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a spell. Probably sputtering ineffectual, yeah.
I mean, I think we all are first time.
Yeah. There's a bog standard sword training scene between mentor and mentee, although give a slight nod to the humor and chemistry between the two. If I'm being generous, we have about 15 seconds of 4 out of 10 material, but honestly not much to write home about.
Yeesh.
We then pivot to Great Value Aragorn sniffing a handful of worms to learn the position of the enemy.
Ugh.
And suddenly we're back into 1 out of 10 total trash land.
How do worms smell?
He scoops them out of the dirt with his bare hands, and then he can he can tell where other people are.
Oh, that's a clever way to do tracking, I guess, and because it's been done in every fantasy trope ever.
Yeah,
That's different. I guess they smell like dirt.
I guess I don't.
I don't know. I'm vaguely interested in what a worm smells like.
How much would you have to get paid to eat a live worm?
There is an amount of money, and if I saw the money on the table in front of me, I'd probably weaken immediately. But in my head, there's not an amount of money.
I would $1,500 easily.
Again, if I fucking was sitting there with a worm on the table and you started counting out $1,500, I'd probably do it. But sitting here right now thinking about putting a worm in my mouth, I want to vomit.
Our duo is now scouting out the location where the worms told them one of the raiders is going to show up at. Great Value Aragorn regales Teen Pignose of the story of Icy Dragon. There was some stupid war, and the stupid king got himself stupidly wounded. On the verge of death, the king begged the dragon to siphon off a bit of her soul to keep him alive.
Oh, okay. Continue. Sorry, continue.
Okay, is that like from the first movie?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. It's a theme, because that's kind of the main theme of the movie.
Okay, so I was going to say, I guess we'll talk about it now. So the first movie is called Dragonheart because the villain, when he was like a kid, I don't remember what happened, but the villain gets like fatally wounded, and Sean Connery gives up half his heart to the kid. Yes. And then for some reason he grows up and all. I don't remember if that kid kills all the dragons or Sean Connery's the last dragon, and like for some reason killing him also stops the kid's heart that he's now the villain. But yeah, spoiler for fucking Dragonheart 1, you'll live. But that's interesting because I was gonna say, like, how do you fucking build a franchise off of being called Dragonheart because the villain has half of a dragon's heart, and they just did the same thing just with a soul.
Well, no, that makes. No, they even say heart. I just said soul.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. But, like, that makes me wonder, is all of the 5 Dragonheart movies, is that the main plot?
Anyway, is it just about a bunch of people with half of a dragon's heart? That's weird. That is really interesting, because I was going to say, how do you fucking build a franchise on that? I guess the answer is just do it again.
My God. Excuse me. Oh, God. I'm dying.
Yeah, you're pushing 40, I hear.
Oh, God, I'm so old. So the king, wants part of the dragon heart to stay alive, and the dragon's like, nah, fam, I'm Gucci. The king and his people then exile the dragon, but he recovers because he was, like, almost fatally wounded, but not quite. Whatever. He got vaccinated. He's good.
Don't tell Joe Rogan
that. Great Value Aragorn's telling the story. As he's telling the story, Teen Pignose's brilliant white mystery stallion starts pissing on Great Value Aragorn's backpack.
Okay.
The horse suddenly starts flapping its wings before transforming into Icy Dragon.
Who could have thought?
There's some dragon sellsword banter, and Great Value Aragorn gives Teen Pignose an ultimatum, and our hero chooses the dragon, and the sellsword rides off in a huff. The dragon also makes some comments about, you have to do things my way, and vengeance is bad.
This just sounds like it's just like the first movie, then.
Yeah, I'm not that surprised.
I mean, I don't remember a lot of the first movie, but I mean, I know that it's because it's a dragon slayer and Sean Connery as a dragon who end up like working together. The reason I thought it was clever is because they tromp around running a scam. He pretends to kill Sean Connery in every town, and then they get a reward and they fuck off and do it the next town over. But it like doesn't. They don't start the movie doing that. It's like something they figure out along the way, which I thought was clever. You know, because like dragons are supposed to, especially in the 90s, they're like big noble, either like noble above human affairs or like just savage beasts to be killed. And this one is just like a grifter. I like the idea of a grifter dragon.
Yes, that does make me happy.
So yeah, it was like the story of just two, a buddy cop story, basically. So I guess we're doing that again, kind of?
Kinda, yeah.
All right.
Our little trio eventually comes together, and there's some big reveal later on.
It's almost like every movie is exactly the same.
So Teen Pignose is polishing his pony in a field when he sees a Viking-like raider in war paint casually eating berries. It's really awkward. It's just this big, burly guy with, like, fur and, like, swords strapped to him, just, like, plucking berries off a bush and eating them.
Yeah, I mean,
why would
that's how the Vikings used to do it, man. You gotta hunt and gather.
Teen Pignose, the idiot he is, accidentally drops his sack of money, which jingles and alerts the raider that there's an innocent life to be snuffed out nearby. Suddenly, a couple dozen Viking Raider-type goons appear and start chasing our poorly nosed hero. The dragon shows up, but only wants to play defense because she's a fucking pacifist, because she follows Bernie Sanders on Twitter, that libtard fucking cuck of a dragon. God, I hate the liberals with their vaccines. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, by the way, for people listening, Isaac is not a Republican. I had a friend who started listening to the show.
Really?
She started with Spawn. And she was like, I don't know, because she's been my friend for a long time. She's like, I don't know that you and your friend and I would get along. And I'm like, oh no, he's a great person. I forget sometimes that we're just awful on this show. No, Isaac does not hate the libtards. We're clear,
that is all mocking and in jest.
It's a bit.
I am quite left-leaning.
Yeah.
And just like to mock the absurdity of the right at times.
Oh, it's hilarious. I do too. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there.
So yeah, that fucking liberal dragon.
Yeah, fucking
student loan forgiveness. Like that would help. Yeah. I'm not drowning in student debt. Okay.
Fucking...
This.
Jeez.
This. We didn't plan this, but my next line here is, the stupid liberal dragon doesn't seem to like indiscriminate death. Pathetic fucking libcuck.
What an asshole. The stupid liberal dragon says going to Iraq was a mistake. Like some kind of fucking dickhead.
Teen Pignose now rides the dragon, now in horse form, across the country in a montage.
Why did it turn back into a horse?
There's some comment about like how male dragons can turn into people and female dragons can turn into animals or some shit.
Here's a thought. Why don't you ride it as a fucking dragon?
You don't want to draw attention to the... I don't know.
Well, are they going into town?
I don't even know.
Okay. I don't
think it matters.
Why do I ask you these things?
Yeah. Why do you?
I
Larry?
don't know. I just crave to live in a world of order.
Larry, smack your own hand with a ruler.
I don't have a ruler. Can I use
Why
my
you don't have a
flaccid
ruler? How do you
penis?
measure your cock?
Tape measure.
Come on.
Tape measure. You want the God's honest truth? Why do you think it's covered in cuts? Tape measures have sharp edges. You need to say you've never cut
dick.
You've never cut your penis on a tape measure?
No, I've only...
Yep, here we go. Here we go.
Well, I cut my nuts shaving and then decided just to let the pubes get wild.
Ugh. Oh, every part of that sentence disgusts me in different ways. Just continue. Wow.
It sounds like my wife when we're making love.
I'm not surprised. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Making love with you must be incredible.
Oh god. So yeah, riding horse across the countryside in a montage, low rent banter, that might as well be in the colostomy bag of someone with advanced kidney disease. I was in a bad mood when I was writing this.
You seemed like you were... I was getting more text from you than I usually do when you're watching these. You seemed upset.
Oh, I didn't even finish that line. They have low rent banter that might as well be in the colostomy bag of someone with advanced kidney disease, diabetes, and a diet exclusive of cocktail weenies and canned peaches.
I just had some canned peaches and they were not good.
Yeah, no, you should chase him down with some cocktail weenies. You'll be feeling great.
I did just have cheddar wurst. You watched me eat them.
I doubt. Oh, yeah, it was hot.
It was not hot. I think we proved that definitively.
Hey, the cum in my pants says differently.
Yeah, you just came because there was food involved. It didn't matter what I was doing. You just saw food and your fucking dick explode.
I don't like phallic food. I like food that my phallus can go into.
You're obsessed with hot dogs. What are you on about?
No,
I guess you're not sexually obsessed with hot dogs. You're just obsessed with sending them to.
I don't want to do any sexual play with hot dogs. However, like I'm kind of curious about fucking a pie, fucking a cheesesteak, fucking peanut butter, creamy in this situation.
We just
otherwise
need
chunky.
To have a side podcast of what food did Isaac masturbate with today.
Canned corn might actually not be that bad.
Creamed or whole. Creamed or kernels.
Well, I guess creamed would be better texture.
They'd both be fine.
Yeah.
The inside of a fleshlight looks like an inside-out corn cob. Anyway, continue.
I'm just worried I would get a corn kernel stuck in my urethra. And then when I busted a nut, it would shoot out like a like a little pellet. Larry's retching in the corner. I've done my job for today.
Fucking oh my god, just continue. Jesus, I need to sit down.
Oh god, around a campfire, the dragon goes on some leftist rant about how vengeance can darken even the noblest heart.
Thank you for waiting until I had a mouthful of milk to say that.
Yeah, milk.
It's coffee milk. I've combined one thing I love with one thing I hate, and it's not bad.
Oh boy. Okay, so Teen Pignose wakes up to a gaggle of raiders tossing beehives on him as he sleeps.
Wait, for
Forgot
real?
about this. Yes.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
They have a whole bunch of beehives. It's really weird. Like, where'd you get all these beehives, and how are you transporting them?
How are you transporting them is my question. We don't say off screen is Todd, who is just one giant bee sting.
Like, I get, like, that if you had an enemy and you could toss a beehive on him while he was asleep, that'd be great.
Absolutely, yeah.
But the logistics of it, come on, man.
Yeah, how do you get the bees there is the real question, because they don't like to be jostled.
The dragon fights off a bunch of the goons, but then the biggest, baddest goon grabs Teen Pignose and puts a knife up to his neck. Suddenly, an adorable dog that looks way too much like my dog starts barking and standing up on their hind legs. The big goon chuckles, but then the dog suddenly sprouts wings and transforms into Icy Dragon.
The mid-transformation sequence is with the third picture you sent me. And wow, that is super duper bad.
It's just a dog standing. I'll post it on the social medias, but it's just a dog standing on its hind legs with poorly photoshopped wings.
It's so terrible. I'm looking at it again now. It's wretched. Oh, God.
So she bashes the goon up something fierce. Teen Pignose goes to kill the goon, but Icy Dragon tells him to chill. Goon says that he can lead them to another one of the goons. Then his hood falls off, revealing a giant open sore on his bald pate. It's really awkward.
Okay.
My wife Kate happened to walk in, like, as I was watching that scene, and just was like, what? What is
weird.
This?
That's weird.
So, Teen Pignose looks horrified at this for a moment, and then pulls up the goon's hood again, and it covers the gross head wound.
What's the point of that?
There's some comment later about how he was scalped by some other bad person or something.
Okay.
And I didn't bother making a note of it because I hate everything about my life.
I don't blame you. I also hate everything about your life.
How could you not? Goon leads them to Snake Lady, who's at a little outcrop with her own gaggle of goons. Our new trio, which is the goon that captured the Icy Dragon and Teen Pignose. They look down from above, and we see that Great Value Aragorn has climbed on top of the thatched roof of the cabin and tosses a damp blanket over the chimney in the hopes of smoking the bad guys out. Unfortunately, 3 seconds later, he falls through the roof, and all the goons chase him out of the house with their swords drawn. This gave me
Sorry, go ahead.
a mental chuckle with no tangible manifestation of mirth, so 3 out of 10.
Did you ever see Willow?
No, I haven't seen that yet. I've been meaning to, though.
It's a good movie. This guy sounds less like Aragorn and more like a very low-rent Mad Mardigan, which I know you don't understand. I can't explain right now, but Mad Mardigan is sort of Aragorn, but goofier and crazier. I mean, he's not really... In the 90s, crazier just meant... that didn't really mean anything. So...
Yeah... He's probably in between. He's definitely got the Aragorn look with, like, the straggly, like, always wet black hair and, like, the stubble beard. And he's got, like, clothes and a bunch of, like, he's a ranger. He's a ranger.
Sure. It's just, like, the more I hear about him, the more I'm thinking Mad Mardigan. Willow's a great movie. You'll enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, that's Warwick Davis is in that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's very much, like, just one step adjacent to The Lord of the Rings, but more whimsical and less... Elvish saying fuck to what was the joke from earlier? Fuck town. You know, less. I don't know. I've lost all track of the joke. Willow is it's like a more permeable adventure. It's easier to fucking like pay attention to and not as dramatic, but very similar stakes.
I think the joke was you put a spigot in a pig's asshole and see if water comes out the mouth.
It does. Yes.
I really want to test this.
Well, you're one pig away, baby. You've got the spigot.
Now, what if you did it to yourself, like alive? How bad would that jack things up?
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay, don't do that, listeners. Leave it to me.
It's just the endless enema is what you've described.
Wow, that's a title of a book.
Yep.
Yep, I can finally get my right-wing politics out in the world.
It'll be the title of your autobiography, I'm sure. But anyway, continue.
Oh, God. Great Value Aragorn has a valiant sword fight with multiple goons, although, of course, Icy Dragon helps him out midway through. Snake Lady is about to escape on horseback, so Teen Pignose chases her down and knocks her off her horse. They have a sword fight because Teen Pignose is now an expert swordsman.
Well, he's had his montage, so he's
Yeah.
the best now.
She stabs him in the guts, but really she just stabbed his little pouch of coins and he's fine.
Oh, no.
Icy Dragon and Great Value Aragorn show up right in time. Snake Lady is knocked out, but Great Value Aragorn... I keep writing Gandalf instead of Aragorn. Goddammit. Great Value Aragorn takes an ice blast from the dragon and they both fall to the ground and writhe in pain. Teen Pignose asks, what the hell is going on? And Great Value Aragorn flashbacks to when he was a kid and his parents were killed and he was left for dead. But Icy Dragon showed up and gave him half her heart to keep him alive. So
Wow.
now he's forever bonded to the traitor dragon, which is why they've been so bitchy to each other.
I'm truly, genuinely shocked that they managed to use that premise in the same but different way. For
I
this
really want to know.
franchise. I'm blown
If
away.
every movie does that.
Yeah, that's
If that-
I'm gonna have to look into that because that's it's not interesting, but it'd be fascinating if they managed to do that.
So Great Value Aragorn goes into the cabin that Icy Dragon ice blasted. Inside he finds a goon frozen to death kneeling next to a fireplace. He pulls a scrap of paper out of the goon's hands that the goon was obviously trying to burn, but in the process accidentally breaks off a few of the dead goon's frozen fingers. And then, says, oh, sorry. So, yeah. 3 out of 10. Non-chuckle, but better than the rest of this fucking movie. Around a campfire, Great Value Aragorn and Icy Dragon argue whether Teen Pignose should kill the Snake Lady they have captive. Icy Dragon then reveals that there wasn't actually a one-eyed man that killed Great Value Aragorn's parents. Yeah, we got some backstory on that earlier, I forgot to mention. But instead, it was actually the king who was freshly wounded from battle, racing back to the castle on a wagon, who ordered Great Value Aragorn's parents to be run off the road so he could get to safety. And that's why Icy Dragon refused to give the king part of her heart and instead gave it to the wounded Great Value Aragorn as a child.
Okay.
Plot.
Sure.
Teen Pignose declines to kill Snake Lady, and our trio, Icy Dragon in dog form, brings the Snake Lady to the city to bring her to justice. There's then a very awkward scene where Teen Pignose is reintroduced to the fine piece of teen ass in town. Icy Dragon hides behind a wall and feeds him lines of dialogue in order to have her open her...
Just fucking say it.
In order to have her open her pulsing pink snapper to accommodate his raging long dong silver.
Oh my god, Isaac. Oh dear.
That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to get his dick wet.
Now, I thought of this joke half an hour ago. What was her profession again?
Like an alchemist potion maker.
So it's not the size of the boat; it's the motion of the potion.
You fuck.
And then there was a single gunshot and silence.
God damn it.
Yikes!
Oh, so should be bad flirtatious comedy ensues. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
I just want you to know, real quick. I did just very quickly looked in Wikipedia. All of these movies have the plot of a dragon gives half its heart to somebody.
God damn
I'm
it.
blown away.
How do you make 5 movies out of that
I'm
jive?
blown away. It seems like it's the same plot every time.
Jesus.
I mean, because I'm listening to you. I just typed in the word heart, and I'm just looking at the Wikipedia articles like, heart. Oh, yep, half its heart. Okay, it's just fucking every time. How do you manage that? Good lord, that is a specific niche.
So Teen Pignose eventually tells Icy Dragon to fuck off, and then sweet talks that fine teenage clam into going for a stroll with him. He's what? He's got a raging libido.
I know you do.
No, that he does. The character does.
I'm scoffing at fine teenage clam, Isaac. What did you?
I know.
Come on.
Gonna start a seafood company that also gives hand jobs. Okay.
Called the Butt Fay.
Great Value Aragorn, meanwhile, is sitting in the tavern puzzling over the singed piece of paper from the cabin of the goons. Decoding them, he finally realizes that the king has been sending the raiders out to do their pillaging. Conveniently, as soon as he figures this out, the king and his goons show up and beat up Great Value Aragorn and tell him to back off.
Instead of just killing him.
Plot. Yeah, nonsense plot.
Instead of just killing him, which would have been easier.
Fine piece of ass's dad is the dungeon master, apparently. What, teen sex kitten?
I don't know which is worse.
Sweet teenage clam?
I don't know which is worse. Okay.
Oh, God.
Himmel.
So he's the dungeon master, and he's in charge of keeping Snake Lady captive. Snake Lady does a weird upside-down dance from the ceiling to distract Papa.
That'd work on me.
Meanwhile, the Scorpion Man, one of the other mega bad dudes, bashes Papa in the head, sets Snake Lady loose, and sets fire to Papa's house.
Okay.
Icy Dragon uses her icy breath to put out the fire. Saving Teen Sex Kitten and her daddy, Ice Dragon tells Teen Pignose that they have to gather evidence and prove the king is behind all of this. Teen Pignose, hungry for vengeance, name drop again, just wants to go off after the Snake Lady and Scorpion dude so he can kill them because they killed his mommy and daddy, whatever. God, this fucking movie. We get a montage here where Teen Pignose and Great Value Aragorn ride horses through the snow after the bad guys, interspersed with Icy Dragon, now in mouse form, sneaking around the castle gathering evidence. Our boys get in a longbow battle in the snow. Meanwhile, some ladies get afraid of the mouse in the castle. Hilarity ensues.
Sure, whatever.
Great Value Aragorn gets a longbow, is in a longbow battle. Teen Pignose, he tells Teen Pignose to get on the horse and hightail it out of here. So Teen Pignose is initially reluctant to leave, but finally is convinced to. He tries to run away, but he's thrown down a hillside by Snake Lady and Scorpion Dude. Great Value Aragorn then takes a crossbow to the belly, but still ends up killing the rest of the goons. He then telekinesises the dragon, who abandons her quest to get evidence and starts flying to their rescue.
Sure.
Teen Pignose fights Snake Lady with swords and daggers and whatever, and is pretty much woefully outmatched. Oh, God. Injured Great Value Aragorn fights Scorpion Dude, struggling to keep pace because he's got a fucking crossbow bolt in his belly. Meanwhile, we get interspersed shots of Icy Dragon flying as fast as she can to the rescue. Scorpion Dude starts drowning Great Value Aragorn in the river, but Great Value Aragorn pulls the arrow out of his guts and stabs Scorpion Dude in the neck, which movie magic kills him literally instantly.
Oh, thank God.
He just falls over dead.
Yeah.
That's how getting stabbed in the neck works.
Duh.
God.
Isaac, duh. What's wrong with you?
Do you know the serial, or did you ever listen to the last podcast on Ed Kemper?
Yeah, it's been a while, though.
But he had, like, when he first stabbed, like, a teenage girl to death, he was like, oh, you don't just stab them once and they die?
Oh, yeah.
They, scream and bleed and try to run away, and you have to keep stabbing them?
Yeah.
Jesus, this is way harder than I thought.
Yeah, humans don't tend to die instantly in those kind of situations.
No, not quite.
We're bleeders. We cling to life. Not me. Right. I'm fucking... You stab me, I'm pushing the knife in farther. But, I mean, we're a resilient species for the most part.
So Teen Pignose is struggling in his sword fight with Snake Lady. Eventually she gets the best of him, but just as she's about to kill him, Icy Dragon shows up. Snake Lady begs for her life, tells Icy Dragon that she'll turn state's evidence against the king. Icy Dragon sees Teen Pignose lying in a pool of blood and assumes he's dead.
Why is that so funny? That's really funny. Oh, wow. Shit.
So... Icy Dragon thinks the teen is dead, and she gets enraged, and forgetting that vengeance is bad, chomps down on Snake Lady's head and flings her several hundred feet away into the river to her death.
No, she's fine. Humans are resilient. I just said that.
No, she's totally dead. God damn it. This movie has no plot.
It doesn't sound it.
No overarching nothing. Great Value Aragorn crawls out of the river and tells Icy Dragon to take Teen Pignose to safety and that he'll be fine. Icy Dragon scoops up Teen Pignose in her claws and flies him away. Almost dead and delirious, Teen Pignose looks up at the stars and murmurs, "I'm flying."
Ugh, dumb. Drop him.
Stupid dumb. 4 weeks later, Teen Pignose wakes up surrounded by clerics in a bed. If this was the Catholic Church, things might be a little rough right now.
You're not wrong.
Turns out that sweet teen piece of ass has his little cock. Wait, what?
I just want you to know, audience, that I'm shaking my head because I disapprove of this whole... Whatever he's about to say, I pre-disapprove of it.
I messed up the sentence, but I'll read it word for word. Turns out the sweet teen piece of ass his little cock has been vibrating for, saved him with magic herbs or some shit. Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably should have added some commas. Icy Dragon is a cat sitting on his lap during all of this. Whatever. Teen Pignose gets out of bed to receive the not-so-nice king who was showed up demanding justice against the bad Icy Dragon. Exposition. Great Value Aragorn shows up with the original bad dude that he captured, whose arm has been severed but is still alive, apparently. That's another scene that happened that I never mentioned. That goon says the king is bad, and one by one the Kingsguard turn on the king and accuse him of crimes. The king is put in the stocks, and there's some happy ever after bullshit with lazy lens flare and a bed of hero music. Teen Pignose gets his dick wet in the piece of ass he's been chasing, and the dragon farts fireworks over a party montage. And that's the end of the movie.
Wow, that is a wet fart of an ending.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, they pretty handily beat the villains, and then the king is in the stocks, and then, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know, the king's arc didn't, I don't know, his comeuppance didn't feel earned.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they solved any problems.
I don't know, it got rid of the Raiders and the bad king.
I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, that Teen Pignose can hump babies into that lady's belly or whatever.
Shockingly, that's the best thing you've said so far.
It's the circle of life.
Yeah.
So, 2 out of 10 overall. The movie is barely passable for a savvy 6-year-old who's moving from picture books into base-level fantasy stories. But the overall story is grinding and boring. The characters are little but cliches. The humor passes just by the skin of its teeth. The acting ranges from barely passable to atrocious. The CGI is a wet fart that belongs in the late 90s. The movie hoists itself up on fantasy tropes, never accomplishes anything original, and leaves the viewer as unsatisfied as being served cold, soggy fries. It could be worse, but it's definitely not what I wanted.
Yeah, that sounds like a good sum up. I mean, it sounded like nothing happened. It sounded like a very poor rehash of the first, I guess, 4 movies. Mm-hmm.
It was so boring.
Yeah.
I usually watch my movies in one sitting, but this took 3 days.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it sounded like a whole fucking lot of nothing, but at least
no more Dragonheart movies, Larry, or I will put a piece of corn in your urethra.
Well, I hear there's 3 bad ones to go, so I think I don't think the first one's good, but I think it's enjoyable, so you certainly won't get that. It's Sean Connery as a dragon. I am the last one. Come on.
I got a piece of corn saved for you.
Ugh. Did it come out of your poop? Because it should have.
Yeah, I could do that.
Well, I've disgusted myself now.
So next week, Larry is covering the amazing movie Llamageddon.
Funny story about Llamageddon, and because my girlfriend asked me what I had to watch next, I said Llamageddon, and she's like, "Oh my God, I told you to give that to him like a year ago." And she did. When we started talking about it, because her sister had watched it and said it was the worst thing she ever saw. And then word trickled back to me, and I said, "Oh, if we ever go, not on Netflix, we'll start looking. We'll give him that." And you literally beat me to it before there was any chance.
That is amazing.
It really is. I'd forgotten that. Once she reminded me, it all came flooding back. But yeah, it was something else.
This is really our first movie that's not on Netflix, aside from episode 26, which apparently you have no memory of.
I don't know. Yeah, what happened in episode 26?
Who knows?
I don't know. Everything I've ever done was on Netflix.
Yep,
as far as I'm aware.
Clearly. All right, so after Llamageddon, what do you have coming hot and fast down the pipe for the back of my throat?
Isaac, this is my white whale. This is the Moby Dick to my Captain Ahab, but in this version, I have caught, skinned, and wear Moby Dick like a cloak, wrapped around my shoulders of victory.
I don't like when you smile.
You may need to check your email. You'll find a sum that I've sent you via PayPal. The total sum comes to $2.99.
I see that receipt from one Mr. Larry.
Which you will need in order to rent your movie, because unfortunately it's only free on HBO, which you don't currently have access to, and I didn't want to miss you seeing this. So you'll have to rent it from Amazon Prime or another place of your choice, but it's $2.99 on Amazon Prime. Isaac, this has been a long time coming.
Oh, no.
Do you have Amazon Prime pulled up?
I do.
Your movie, and I may ejaculate upon saying this, your movie is Movie 43.
Ah, shit.
Isaac, this is my white whale.
Oh, no.
A very long time ago, we started this podcast. Isaac made me watch this movie, and I'm still mad about it. I'm still as upset about it as I was when we started this show.
Oh, James Gunn directed part of it.
It has 15 directors.
Oh,
It has 15
it's like a weird...
directors.
It's a bunch of shorts, basically, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. This is the one.
Damn it.
This is the one I have been waiting for since we started doing this again. When we started, when our first 2 episodes was White Chicks and Don't Be White in South Central. I don't remember what was the Juice in the Hood.
Yeah.
Too long time. When we started those,
Don't be a menace in South Central.
menace.
Or drinking your juice in the
Don't
hood.
be a menace. Thank you. When we picked those movies, the first thing I did after that was look for movie 43. And I have checked every month since on Netflix. And the second we decided to leave Netflix, this was the first thing I was running to. I do not think I have seen a worse movie than this. I don't think one exists. If you type it into Google, the first thing that comes up is movie 43 the worst movie ever? I cannot watch it again. I may legitimately commit suicide.
Because I've seen the clip on TikTok, or part of it, of Hugh Jackman with balls on his chin.
Hey, guess what? That's the joke. You thought it was clever than that. That's the joke. The joke is that his chin has balls on it. Isaac, if you give this movie, this is not a joke. If you tell me you liked this movie, if you give it more than a 1 out of 10, I am leaving the bowels of movie night.
Boy.
I cannot do a show with a man I fundamentally don't respect. If you tell me this movie was, you'd be fucking on. Don't you just lie to yourself. If you tell me this goddamn movie was good in any way, if you're gonna laugh, sure. If you tell me this movie is good in any way, I am firing myself from this podcast. Because
you're legally obligated.
It is impossible for me to do this with a man I don't respect.
Well, I'm not too afraid that I'm going to like this based on what I already know about it.
I have never been more excited for an episode of my life. Because I have blocked out almost all of this movie in my head for survival.
You're going to have a lot of flashbacks.
It did. We did get our original tagline from this movie, which was a shotgun blast of whatever to the was it movies or Netflix to the face?
I think it was podcast.
Yeah, podcast. Okay, which I think that was a fun bit. Was just that us saying that, but at one point Lois Lane talks about a shotgun blast of cum. Yes.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I was fucking terrified last week that you were going to give me this. Because in my head, you were waiting as long as I was to make sure that I didn't get it.
I wouldn't make you do it again.
Yes, you would. What are you talking about?
I'm a gentleman, Larry.
You're a monster.
I'm a Peter Butter fucking gentleman.
Well, all right. I'm very excited. And I'm so relieved that I just was able to escape.
If you filled an asshole with peanut butter and fucked it, would it be better?
I just visualized it. Oh, the sounds that would make.
All right. Well, if you stuck around this long, you got a mental condition.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for listening.
We got 2 apparently very good episodes coming down the pipe because I haven't watched Lamageddon yet, but
oh, I know it's
supposed to be pretty rough.
But yeah, do all the good podcast things. Rate, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandmother to fucking listen for once. God damn it. Tell her to keep better candy in the house.
She's
Those Werther's Originals.
Werther's are they not? Oh, you don't want that. I'm sorry. I was just saying, they're not fucking bitter. What's wrong with you?
Anyway, yeah, and so Twacebook and Fitter, you know how that works. Send us an email, bowelsofmovienight@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you if you have any suggestions of movies. And remember, we're pretty much on all the platforms. And we don't want to rent movies every week, but if you ever have something that's not on a platform, we can occasionally consider spending the money to rent things, because we do have a pretty massive income. We're pulling in about 7 figures a month.
If you laid out every dollar I've seen in my entire life end to end, it wouldn't hit 7 figures. And I worked at a restaurant for 10 years where I handled the money. Still wouldn't hit 7 figures.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm tired. I gotta go stick my dick in a jar of peanut butter.
Jesus, just do it. We need to just do it. We just need to do it. We just need to talk about it. Get this over with.
That's what the Battles of Movie Night Twitter or TikTok will be. It's me fucking food.
I mean, you may as well. You genuinely may as well at this point.
I don't think I could show me fucking food, but I could probably have a close-up on my face while I fucked food. And then just did, like, a commentary on, like, you know, how it was going.
Yeah, you could.
Let the listeners know if I got a piece of corn in my dick hole.
Why is there corn in the peanut butter? Honey,
No,
why is there corn in the peanut butter?
Oh, well, I got a piece of corn stuck in my dick when I was fucking someone in the ass, and then I fucked the peanut butter and the corn came out.
This has to stop. All right, thanks for listening. You do the other part now.
What other part?
The part that I normally do.
Oh, fuck you later.
No, fine, we'll go with it.